What if you could take that risk, make that change, reach that goal, live your best life? Welcome to another episode of the What If You Could podcast, where we get together with amazing experts and everyday people who share challenges, encourage healing, and explore the possibilities that life has to offer. I'm your host, Gary Scott, and I'm excited that you're along for the ride. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the What If You Could podcast. And today, my awesome guest, and I hate all of us podcasters go, man, I was so excited for you to be here. And oh, I'm so glad you're here. So sometimes it's bullshit, but not all the time. But this time, I mean it. I was really looking forward to talking to this dude. So we have Mr. Cam F. Awesome. Hello, Cam.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Living the dream, buddy. I'm always living the dream, brother. I can't help it. Sometimes it's a nightmare, but it's all good. It's all
Live
good.
the dream, but stay woke.
Stay woke. Yeah. So listen, normally I kind of have a routine that I follow when we start, but with you, I've got a early question out of the gate before we get started is Mr. Cam F. Awesome. What does the F stand for?
Uh, the F stands on my birth certificate, it's just the letter F. Here's what the F stands for. There, I don't, hmm, best way to put it. Uh, what the F symbolizes to me is that I'm taking my own route in life. I could be like I'm a youth speaker. I speak at schools, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There are schools who won't have me because there's an F in my name. Because they're like, it's a middle school. We're going to assume kids think, but 12-year-old me would think that F was cool.
Yeah.
And if I have to conform, because I already went my own path to start my own business and not follow the conventional path of life, the F to me symbolizes I'm going to do things my way, even if it's
Right.
more difficult.
Right on. I am not at all shocked that there are some schools that would go, well, the F is for F-bomb, man, and the kids can't. I'm like, dude,
Oh,
the
yeah.
kids are so far past anything to do with what that F means, bro. And you are literally negligent in your responsibilities if you are keeping this man from speaking to these kids because of that. All right, you should be fired. The whole school board should be fired.
But here's the thing. And here the F also is a good filter. The F maybe it can stand for filter because when someone finds out there is an F in my name and if it bothers them, I automatically know I'm not gonna like you. So you just saved us a bunch of time.
That is so awesome. That is like, it's like having a dog, right? You walk up to someone and you have a dog. If that dog reacts weird to that person, I'm out of there, dude. If my dog doesn't like you, I do not like you.
The dog knows things you don't know.
The dog knows things you don't know. Okay, I totally squirreled, but I just had to know what the F stood for, and I know most people will. So okay, so
Oh yeah.
we're
Also, for the
yeah,
record,
go ahead.
fuck yeah.
Well, I was thinking Cam fucking awesome. If you're
It's
gonna
a
change your
fun
last name
name.
to awesome, you
Yeah.
gotta have fucking That's all I'm saying. I mean, how could you not be, right? You
Yeah.
are. So now I'm actually going to start the podcast, but all that's in there because it's just too freaking good. So, all right, everybody, trying to catch my breath. So we have the amazing Cam F. Awesome. And I'm going to read his bio real quick. So, Cam, today's guest is someone who knows what it takes to turn challenges into championships, literally. Cam F. Awesome is a 12-time national boxing champion, 3-time Olympic trials champion, and former captain of the USA national boxing team. But beyond the medals and accolades, Cam's journey is one of resilience, grit, and the power of positive internal dialogue. Starting as a bullied kid who found confidence in the boxing ring, Cam transformed setbacks into opportunities, even bouncing back after being kicked off the Olympic team. Now, Cam is taking the lessons he's learned in the ring to inspire others, speaking at schools, workplaces, and events about resilience, mindset, and overcoming failure. With an knack for humor and a talent for storytelling, Cam captivates audience of all ages, helping them see challenges as stepping stones to success. Cam's also the author of Becoming Awesome: How to Make Success Inevitable, and he's here to share his insights with us today. So, get ready for an inspiring and entertaining conversation. Please welcome to the show, Cam fucking awesome. Sorry, couldn't help myself. Couldn't help myself. Listen, this is gonna be so fun, and I hate to keep talking. I've already talked too much, but I do have to ask you, Mr. Cam F. Awesome. I have to ask the "What if you could" question because we're the "What if you could" podcast. So, Mr. Cam F. Awesome, have you ever had a if you could thought, or is there a what if you could you have for the future you'd like to share with everybody?
When I was probably 12, I had a what if you could moment. Actually, my whole life, I hated like being in trouble as a kid. I hated being on timeout because that meant I didn't get to do what I wanted with my time. And then my dad owned a construction company where he would redo sidewalks and driveways. And I was trying to impress my dad. So I would get in the back of pickup trucks with the laborers from Home Depot because I wanted my dad to know I was a worker too. And I saw these men, Gary, these men work so hard. They're not like
Yeah.
us. Well, I don't know how you are, but they're not human. Like they wake up at God knows what time. They don't know where they're going to work. There's no band-aids. There's no workers' comp. They just work. And it was miserable. Like that was their life. That was just my weekends. And I thought, I don't want to do hard labor but I wasn't good at school, Gary. So it wasn't like I was going to college. So I had a thought, what if I could do what I wanted with my time?
Nice. Awesome.
What I want to do is going to change, but what if I could do what I want with my time and what would that look like? And I, since probably the age of being in that pickup truck, decided to dedicate my life to doing things I don't want to do in order to do the things I do want to do. And
Mhm.
Gary, when I get to do those things, oh, I'm going to enjoy it. Like the F.
Sir, you know what the F also stands for, is freedom. And when
Freedom.
you can
America.
do what you want to do, right, Mark, when you can do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it, that's ultimate freedom. And it's not about having a quadrillion dollars because there's a really bunch of miserable rich people, right? They're miserable rich people. But freedom is doing what you want to do when you want to do it, how you want to do it.
Yeah. And fuck you money is
Yep.
relative to the lifestyle you want to live
Yep.
because you don't need to just don't drive the Tesla, drive a 6-year-old Honda and you get a freedom that you would otherwise have because then you would get to do what you. So as a kid, I was thinking career wise, what do I want to do? And my first thought was gym teacher because they get to wear sweatpants all day. That was my thought. I was like, okay, but as I got older, I realized, okay, income is important to me. I want, even though if I have time, because we all want time,
Yep.
but it's like if you have time and no money to do anything with that time, it's not as fun. So how do I get both? And I thought I was going to be a rapper because it seems like very low effort for a lot of money. And then it turns out most of the rappers I looked up to growing up was broke the entire time. But so I realized sports athletes get athlete privilege, right? So when I
Yeah.
was dealing with bullying and I went to a boxing gym because I thought if I became this big buff boxer, I could defend myself against bullies. Also, I could probably get a date to prom. Didn't get a date to prom. But when I joined the boxing gym, I thought the faster I worked out, the harder I worked out, the faster I would look strong, and the stronger I looked, the safer I would be. So I had fear as a motivator, and I was just going to the gym for fitness. I wasn't going to go actually fight. I just want to do the workout. And my work ethic, Gary, was the work ethic of the laborers and the pickup truck.
Yeah.
That in my head, that is That is working hard. So when I got to the boxing gym, I outworked everyone easily, all the talented people. So I have TNT. I do things that take no talent. Yeah, you're going to be smarter than me. Yeah, you might have more resources than me, but I will outwork you. I'll show up on time. I'll ask the right questions. I'll give full effort. Like, we all want to be LeBron, right? We knew LeBron was going to be LeBron when he was 9. Okay.
Right?
We're not LeBron. There's one LeBron. You know who we can be, Gary? We can be Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce. There you go.
He's
There
my
you go.
favorite play of all time
There you go.
because
Boston Celtics, right? Wasn't he Boston Celtics?
he's a Celtics. He has a ring and he has an MVP. Tell me what makes him special. Is it his three-point ability? Is it his dunking? Is it his dribble?
It wasn't muscles. He was not a big muscular dude, man.
Oh, the fact is, he probably outworked everyone in the gym always. So even though you're not LeBron, some of us aren't that naturally gifted person. No shade to LeBron or Paul Pierce. It's just like in boxing, I understood I'm not that strong knockout guy. I'm not the LeBron, but I'm gonna outwork you. I'm gonna get a ring. So I took that approach to boxing. And once I realized I can outwork everyone, I started to box and I thought, oh, this is a great career because I started in my senior year in high school. And all these kids, all of my peers were going off to college and they had all these aspirations and they were smart. And what's shitty about school is we celebrate all of the kids on honor roll and we give them extra ribbons and stuff. And you're basically saying all of the kids without the ribbons are going to be losers. I fell in the loser category. So from a very early point in life, I understood I'm playing a different game. Fuck the system.
Yeah.
The system doesn't serve me.
Yeah.
So I took a screenshot in my head of all of my peers who were going off to college to get degrees, and I realized they're taking this path in life. It's steady, it's stable. I realized my thought is I'm going to go boxing, and then I'll get a medal or something, and then get a TV show. That was my point. But my trajectory is I'm going to look like a loser for a little bit while they're moving up, but I will surpass them.
Yeah.
And I had to remind myself, this is a 20-year game.
Yeah.
So while my friends were off at college, I decided to box, and I became the number 1 boxer in the country in 2 years of boxing because of TNT. And I was captain of the USA team, not because I wanted to be. My when at before my first national championship, they have you fill out a piece of paper, height, weight, hometown, reach, and the final question was, what do you want out of boxing? And some people put millions of dollars, gold medal, Olympic medal, championship belt. I put, and it's still up there on the website, to be a good role model and to have my own TV show. Gary, here's why this was relevant. In 2008, everyone was having their own reality shows. So my thought process was, again, I'm doing all of this for money because I want to do what I want with my time.
Yeah.
Requires money. And I'm trying to do a little bit of work for a lot of pay. So I figured TV show would be a good way because the only people I saw with money growing up was on TV.
Yeah.
I didn't know there were jobs that pay $400,000 a year. To me, it was $100,000 or millions of dollars. There was nothing in between. So to me, I thought, okay, I need to go the millions of dollars route. So I figured I win nationals. I get a medal. Like that was so I won nationals in 2008. I won it in every year until 2012. And then I won the Olympic trials. So with this Olympic medal, even if I don't get a medal, I go to the Olympics, I'm an Olympian, I have that title. I can use athlete privilege because in high school, the captain of the football team did something, should have been suspended, but he wasn't. You get special treatment when you're good at something. I want to be special because you get special treatment. It's why you go get a degree. So my thought process was, Gary, if I have a national championship and you have an associate's degree and we apply for the same marketing job, who do you think is going to get it?
Captain Amazing. Mr. Captain Awesome is going to get it.
If you have a bachelor's degree and I have 4 national championships. Now, if I have an Olympic metal. The way my brain works, I can open up any doors and build a life for myself I want to live.
Yeah.
So I win the Olympic trials. I'm on the way to the Olympics, and I get kicked off the Olympic team for not sending in my drug testing paperwork.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah. That had to kick you right in the nuts, man. You had to just go, holy shit, my trajectory is now completely fucked up.
It threw a wrench in the because I put all my eggs in.
Yeah.
And also, Gary, I was talking shit in my head, not I didn't tell anyone because I took the screenshot of where my peers were and I saw everyone getting their degrees and everything. And this is 6 years out of high school. So I'm playing this game in my head because I'm insecure. I have no money in my bank account. You only make $1,000 a month when you're on the Olympic team. And you have to show up to every camp and competition. So it's not like I can get a job because no job is going to give me 3 weeks off to go to Colorado to train and another 3 weeks off to go fight in Russia. So like I'm broke. I'm putting all my eggs in this basket. But I know once I have that Olympic title, all the doors open up and I will be financially good. And then Gary, I'll be able to do what I want with my time. And really what I wanted to do with my time was like have a TV show. I wanted to be an entertainer. I never knew what that looked like and I didn't know how to do that growing up. And I got kicked off the Olympic team and I thought about it. I don't even like boxing. I spent all this time doing the thing I don't want to do the thing I want to be able to do. And I didn't ever really like boxing. I don't watch it. I don't care for the sport. It's just like I'm good at it.
Well, the good news is you're still pretty. So that,
Yeah.
like Muhammad Ali, man, he was pretty and he was going to
Yeah.
let you know he was a pretty man. He was not going to stop that. But I want to go back to something. Well, there's 100 things you said I want to go back to, but one of the things that you said intrigues me is, you talked about fear. And really, you never got out of fear. I mean, you got the fear of being chased as a little kid, getting your ass kicked. You got a fear of showing up in the gym. You got a fear about getting in the gym and getting hit. You got a fear about, am I going to be good enough? You got about fear about, I mean, you literally had this, like most of us live in fear our whole lives about one thing or another. But I mean, when did you get a grip? Did you ever get a handle on that animal of fear? Did you ever finally get to this point where I'm not afraid of all that shit anymore?
Uh, I kind of did. I lost the fear for a little bit. So, uh, so the Olympics, I lived in my van for 3 years, right? Because I wanted to start a business, and I heard that most businesses fail in the first 5 years. It's like 90%, and it's due to overhead. So I decided I wanted to be an entertainer. I want to be a speaker. So I want to do stand-up comedy, but that didn't pay. So I do stand-up comedy at schools. So I Mike Birbiglia is a comic. I saw him and he does storytelling. I was like, oh, I can do that. So I tell one long story. I have lessons that weave in and out. Every story has a moral and a message. So I basically built a business where I do stand-up at schools and it's a school assembly. If I live in my van, I don't have to pay for hotels, flights, or rentals.
True.
No overhead.
Yeah.
So I my car insurance was like $129 a month. So for next to nothing, I could live with there. It was the first time in my life I had no fear because
Mm.
when I left high school, there's no going back home and living with your parents. There I had nowhere to go. So
Yeah.
I learned if you don't have a safety net, you're less likely to fall.
Yeah.
So my entire life, everything I did was if I fail, this is not good. And I had that risk involved because I understood that fear fueled me. When I was living in the van, I had no reason to do better. I mean, I was just content. I didn't have a mortgage. I had no pressure. As long as I could pay my phone bill, even if I didn't, I could just hang out in the Wi-Fi at the library. And it was chill. But Gary, chill don't pay the bills.
No, man.
So I realized like living in the van, and the idea in the van was I was just building my skill. So my thought process in boxing, if boxer A has 100 boxing matches, boxer B has three, they were to fight. Who do you bet on?
100 matches.
You don't even need to know their record.
Yeah.
5 wins, 95 losses. That's the power of experience. So I won my first boxing match, and that was huge for me because I never made a team before. My second boxing match, I lost. And my coach, and I love him for describing it the way he did, because I didn't know anything about boxing. I just joined the gym because it was free. So I was like, hey, what does a loss mean? Can I not go pro? Can I go to the Olympics? What does it mean? He's like, you didn't get the bigger trophy. And I was like, huh? He says, there's two trophies. There's a big one and there's a small one. You got the small one. He went on to explain it was called a smoker show. It's a one-night pop-up event where boxers gain experience for matches that actually matter.
Hmm.
He didn't tell me to work harder. He didn't tell me what I did wrong. He just made it seem like it was part of the process.
Yeah.
So my thought process was, I'm not very athletic because I never made a team in school. But if like a if a boxer has 50 boxing matches, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll just fight everyone and get 100 boxing matches. I don't care about my record. I care about how good I am. So I took a bunch of losses, but after I got 100 boxing matches, I was so comfortable in the ring that I would beat people because they were nervous.
Yeah.
And my superpower came from repetitions. So I retired from boxing with more wins than anybody else, not because I'm necessarily good. It's, I've got 39
You
losses.
you fought more.
I fought more,
But
but
isn't that interesting? Because it so relates to comedy. Like I was taking comedy classes, so I'd go to Los Angeles and I went to the Comedy Store and I went to the Mitzi's the Laugh Shop and all this stuff like this. So I was doing the thing, right? And I would see these really famous comics show up to do like just 5 minutes in a shitty time, not like a headliner, nothing. So I finally got this one guy, John, super sweet guy, big guy, funnier than shit, super nice guy, right? So he was going to walk from this club to the next club. I go, are you walking down there? He goes, yeah. Can I walk with you? He goes, yeah, 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 no problem, dude. So we're talking. I go, what are you doing in this shithole? You freaking, sell out arenas. He goes, this is where I work. I don't want to work in front of 10,000 people. I don't want to make an ass of myself in front of 10,000 people. I go in this. I don't care if there's five people in there, five drunk idiot. I don't care how many people in there. I'm going in there to practice. I'm going in there to work. So I walk up there for no money for get 5 minutes and do my shit. So I mean, you're boxing and your comedy and your speaking, kind of the same thing, right?
yeah. So I am, when it comes to speaking, like stages, keynotes, conferences, I'm dope. I'm not cool about it. I am great at if something goes wrong, I don't care. I am that good at what I do because in the van, I was doing 200 schools a year. I
Wow.
had, before I even moved to corporate, I had over 1,000 speeches under my belt.
Wow.
I'm the king of reps because I'm not naturally talented, but I am Paul Pierce. Like I will get a
Yeah.
championship. So when it comes to comedy, now I've built my speaking business to where it pays my bills. I live a great life. So what do I do with my time? Well, Gary, it's a thing I wanted to do the entire time, which is comedy. And here's how I won because I don't need comedy to pay my bills.
Yeah.
Like if you want to play basketball and you don't make it to the NBA, who said you can't keep playing basketball? Like you love basketball, right? Or do you want to play in the NBA? That's two different goals.
Yep.
I want to do comedy. So I moved to Austin last year to pursue comedy. But then I got down here and realized there's just a bunch of open mics. It's not a lot of opportunities for shows. And I'm past the open mic phase.
Yep.
So and you'll think this is cool because you're in the comedy world. I came up with it's called Comedy in the Courtyard.
Yep. Yeah, I
And
was going to ask you about that.
yeah, I do. I do comedy shows at luxury apartment complexes. So I understand leasing because my brain works in systems and understand a system and see how it can benefit you. So I know property managers have to put on events for the residents at luxury apartment complexes. But the thing is, they're property managers. They're not event planners. It's the worst part of their job.
Yeah.
In steps Cam. So instead of going to an open mic and waiting 2 hours to perform 3 minutes instead of in front of five comics who aren't paying attention to you, I reach out to these properties. So I came up with Comedy in the Courtyard. I joined the Austin Apartment Association, and I got rubbed elbows with enough property managers. It's a process. And now they allow me to go into their, so it's turnkey. They choose a date. I show up with my sound system. I MC the event. I bring 3 comics. So I do about 20 minutes up front. Each comic does their 90-minute show. And I also send them a flyer to email out to their residents to put in their elevator as well. Uh,
Yeah.
I've been having shows with the smallest one. We had seven people at one of the shows, and then it ended with 5. A couple had to leave,
Yeah.
and but we had a show. We had about 60 people at one of the shows. So it's a spectrum. I've done 21 shows in the month of August.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
But here's the thing. I don't care how the shows go. The
Right.
worse the show, the worse the equipment, because in my mind, it doesn't matter. These are just the reps I'm getting. So when I'm on an actual stage, I'm running with weights on at these places. I'm emceeing it myself. So when
Yeah.
I get to a Laugh Factory or a Funny Bone and I get to perform on a real stage in front of an audience in a dark room with low ceilings,
Yeah.
murderer.
Yeah.
First, I have to go through these steps.
Well, that's, in one sense, you had to get punched in the face a bunch of times to kind of continue to hone your craft. And now you get to go up there. Sometimes you bomb, sometimes you don't. I mean, there's nothing. I bet it's a lot easier to get punched in the face and get knocked down than it is to bomb in front of 30 people on the stage, because that's wicked. I've been there. It's just like, dude, this is not. They're not getting me. They're not loving my
Oh,
shit.
yeah. And the worst is it's not going well. And you're like, I've got 13 minutes left. I've, I've been there, like you're the apartment. And because it sounds romantic when I explain it to you, but
Right.
like I'm in an apartment complex, there's 13 people, 3 of them are children,
Yeah.
and 2 of them won't sit still. There's a baby crying, and like there's people eating snacks loudly with their bags of chips. I romanticize it when I explain it, but that
That's
you
reality.
shit. But the thing is,
Yeah.
like, we see so many people on social media become successful, but we don't get to see them eat shit.
Yeah.
You have to. That's like that is the biggest part of the process.
Yeah.
But
It's
we
like
see the
it's
people who make it.
it's like I tell people, there's no such thing as an overnight success. If someone's all of a sudden pops up, I mean, today it might be a little different because all the
Oh,
crazy
no, no,
shit going
no.
on.
Yeah,
But an
it
overnight
happens.
success, there's no such thing, right? I mean, they've been going at it, they've been grinding at it for years, and then all of a sudden you notice them.
Yeah, there are the overnight successes, but it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
The Hawk Tuah girl, for example. But you come in, you make your bread. I hope she manages her money, invests well, and now she can live comfortably. But my idea is I want to be sustainable. I want to be
Yeah.
sustainable in boxing. 4 Olympic cycles, I was the number 1 boxer in the country.
Yeah.
In speaking, I've been running my business successful for 8, 9 years now.
Wow.
Uh, Comedy, I'm getting into comedy and my ideas. I want to be sustainable. I'm not asking how I could be famous because I have enough clout to where I can reach out to people and get on some comedy club stages.
Mhm.
But if I don't, if like my thought process is let me get 100 shows under my belt in the next 3 months. And then when I reach out to get on a comedy stage and I have the opportunity, I don't shit the bed. Because you have to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
It's a system. What are you offering? And
Yeah.
you can get whatever you want in life if you have something to offer.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, for to get in to stages I'm not supposed to be on, I need athlete privilege. What do I have to do for that? I just have to be really good at the sport. Yeah, again, I romanticize that, but losses suck. My body hurt a lot. I
Yeah.
miss holidays, I miss birthdays, I miss Christmases, I've missed weddings, I've missed funerals.
Yeah.
I could romanticize it, and I tend to do that, but that part fucking sucked.
Yeah.
But
I
in my
can't I
mind,
can't believe that. I mean, I understand that like a lot of countries, because the Olympics are so important to like North Korea, Russia, a lot of these places where they have no cred, no street cred in the world, right, at all. So the Olympics mean a lot to them, right? They're like Canada's like no one really gives a shit about Canada, but our hockey team kicks ass, right? Don't fuck with our hockey team. And Russia too. Russia's like, dude, we are the Olympic champions of a ton of shit, and that's our street cred, right? It's crazy that America treats our Olympic athletes so shitty. That's just bizarre to me.
No, no, they don't. I wouldn't say they treat them shitty. They treat them based off the money they can generate. Gymnastics, they get treated well. Swimming, they get treated well.
Yeah.
Wrestlers, not so much. Uh,
But I mean, boxing is a big, big sport. It's a big draw. Yeah, the gymnastics because everyone likes looking at 16-year-old girls in tight little outfits, and the swimming because swimming, just it just is. I was a water polo player, and we got no street cred in water polo. It was hard to even find it on TV. Like when USA was going to play, I mean, if USA was playing, yeah, they might show it. But if you
right.
want to see any of the others, and people have no idea how badass Olympic water polo dudes are. They'll kick the shit out of an NFL lineman. I mean, they're just
They're
bad
rugby
dudes.
players in water.
Yeah, exactly. It's wicked. You're a rugby player, but you're in 18 feet of water and you got nowhere to go. But yeah, so it's interesting that we don't do more support like that. So what happens to athletes? Like, I mean, you have this. It's interesting. You see a Kobe or you see a Michael Jordan. They obviously had some natural talent, but it wasn't just the natural talent. No one outworked Kobe Bryant. Nobody outworked Michael Jordan, man. They just didn't. They just no one could outwork these guys. On the court in practice, it didn't matter. So when you're bringing this passion as the captain of the boxing team, were these guys on board with that? Or they're like, oh, dude, this guy's a Yahoo. This guy's. Were they on board with that type of work ethic and passion you were bringing?
Oh, so you know how I talk about systems? I see
Yeah.
everything in systems and efficiencies. I taught myself how to box because when I went to the gym, I didn't go to learn how to box. They just gave me rope and let me do whatever. So I
Right.
watched what other people did, and if it didn't make sense, I just didn't do it. The speed bag. The fuck's that for? So I would ask boxers, what's the speed bag for? And they're like, hand-eye coordination. And I'd say, I bet you can't hit it with your eyes closed. And then they close their eyes and prove me right and wrong at the same time. Because if you can hit it with your eyes closed, it's not hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
It's hand-air coordination. How does that
Yeah.
serve me in a fight? So here's my thought process. My greatest asset is my experience in the ring and how many fights I have. My second is how great of shape I am. So the average boxer hits the speed bag workouts, 4 rounds of workout. They work out, let's say, 250 days a year for math purposes. That's 1,000 rounds. That works out to be 70 hours. Gary, if you had an extra 70 hours a year to work on something to improve your skill, and we're thinking Paul Pierce mind here, would you rather do something that looks cool but serves no purpose? Or would you work on cardio? Would you work on defense? Would you establish a jab? So when I talked about working hard, I worked hard in my measurements. So I coach myself to the national team, and you get to the national team, they give you a coach. Well, I don't really care for that coach. If he was that good, he would train a fighter that could beat me, so I wouldn't even be here. Bro, I would beef with the army coaches so much because they're all about tradition and waking up early. And my whole thing is tradition stunts growth. I had an army coach knock on my door 6 a.m. for me to go running. And I'm like, hey, people go running at 6 a.m. before they go to work. This is my work. Don't knock on my door before 10 a.m. You try to tell me the air is cleaner at 6 a.m.? Shut up. Shut up. You're doing that because the person before you did that. The person
Yep.
before did that is doing it because the person before them did that. But what happens if the first person to have done something was stupid?
Was wrong. What if they're wrong?
So many people are wrong.
Yeah. You just
So
keep doing the wrong shit over and over and over because everyone thinks that's just the way you're supposed to do it. It's like, dude, maybe what if we tried this way? Oh, we can't try that way because we've always done it well this way. Well, that's bullshit. Why don't we just break the mold? Let's try something different.
yeah, all respect to the army, of course, but I used to beef with the boxing team. Now, so people would wonder how I was becoming so successful because I would roll a blade for cardio. I didn't hit the bag. I didn't want to do the rest of the workout. So I thought it was silly to do all the things I wouldn't hit the bag. I would spar. If there's someone for me to spar, that's actual punches coming at me.
Yeah.
You can't develop bad habits like you can on the heavy bag because you're punching, no one's punching you back. It's not that hard. You're not working on your movement. So the only thing I did was replicate my actual fight.
Yeah.
And defense was, I could get away with this because I didn't get hit much. Like defense was my number one thing. It's the only thing I worked on. Here's how a fight works. If you hit me, you get a point. If I hit you, I get a point. If you don't hit me, you can't win.
Yeah.
So most people thought hit and don't get hit. Mine is don't get hit. And when I get around to it, I'll hit you.
And in Olympic boxing, it's even more stringent than professional boxing, right? I mean, you've got like a specific, isn't it a tighter zone and the glove where the glove hits and stuff like that than it is in the pro game?
Yeah, well, they changed the scoring system halfway through my career, but when I first started, it was a straight up point system, and the bell would ring, and I will run from you until you got tired. And eventually, because I'm not throwing any punches, you get a little more laxed, and you start throwing wilder punches to finally land a shot.
Yeah.
All while you're getting tired because, again,
And frustrated. And you're getting frustrated because I can't hit this son of a bit.
Yeah. And my whole thing is I'm comfortable in the ring, so I don't get tired because I've been there so much. It's not my first rodeo. So I make my movements, and eventually you get tired, and then I hit you with a punch before the bell rings. Now, the first round ended, it's 0-1. I know you're coming in that second round a lot more desperate. So you're throwing wilder hooks. Now, you throw a hook, instead of me blocking, I duck under you, I grab your hips, and I turn them. And I kind of hump you from behind. The ref will break us apart. I've emasculated you. You're very upset. Now you're tired, you're frustrated, and now you're pissed off. The referee breaks us, looks at you, and warns you for turning your back to the action. If I can do that to you 3 times in a round, you lose a point.
Wow. No shit. So you could you could take away a point from him without even throwing a punch.
That was my game. People hated it, but I understood the scoring system and I milked it. And once I was up on points, I'll run from you.
Yeah.
Good luck. The fight's boring. You said I have to be in the ring for 3 minutes. You never said I had to fight the whole time.
Dude, I'm not here to get hit, all right? I'm here to win. That's it. I don't want to freaking keep taking punches. It's like Rocky Balboa. His thing was, I'm just going to take as much of you. I'm just going to hit you, kick, and keep beating my ass until you're so tired that I'm just going to come in and, right? You're the opposite. You're like a Sugar Ray Leonard. You're just like dancing. You're moving. You're like, and Ali, sting like a butterfly, dance like a butterfly, sting like bee. I mean, he didn't want to get hit either.
Yeah. You know what made him special?
Which one? Ali or
Ali?
Sure, yeah.
He made you care about boxing.
Hmm.
You don't really, I mean, he just talked a good talk. He did amazing things and he made you care about boxing. No one cares about boxing. We care about Ali.
Yeah.
Because as someone who's the welterweight champion of the world, no one knows.
Don't have a clue. And I used to be a huge boxing fan. I mean, I was more into the middleweights because I'm old. And back in the 80s, the middleweights were just unbelievable.
That's driving my point home. It was specific people you cared about.
Yeah.
We don't. So the example I give, one of the greatest boxers to ever live, Andre Ward. He's the 2004 2004 Olympic medalist. He was our last gold medalist. Undefeated professional boxer. You don't know who he is. You know who Jake Paul is.
Oh, is he the dude that looks like a girl that fought Mike Tyson?
Yes. So exactly. So you're proving my point. So when you want to box, when someone tells me they want to be a boxer, I give them that example. Do you want to be Andre Ward, who's probably pound for pound the greatest? Or would you rather be an entertainer? Because Jake Paul will make more money than Andre Ward tenfold.
Yeah.
And he's nowhere as close as talented as he is. So
Yeah.
understand the system of boxing. When a boxer wants to box, I ask, what do you want out of boxing? And that's the question I'm leading to. And what is it going to take for you to leave?
Mm. Yeah.
Some of us stick
Yeah.
around too long.
Yeah. No shit. And you know, the other thing is like, you are Mr. Awesome. And I remember when Marvelous Marvin Hagler legally changed his name to Marvelous, which was awesome. But there were characters too. You had Sugar Ray, you had, Sugar Ray Leonard, you had Hagler, you had Marvelous Marvin, you had, God, who were some of the great? You had Roberto Duran. You had these characters. They were all so different, but they were all such great boxers, right? I mean, that period during the 80s was an amazing period of time. And until Tyson came along, no one really gave a shit about the heavyweights. The 70s, it was all about the heavyweights. The 80s, it was all about the middleweights because these guys just had something. Sugar Ray had that charisma. Marvin Hagler had that charisma. Roberto Duran was just a thug, man. The dude would just go in there, just swinging away. But you cared about these people, like you said. You really loved one of them, or you really hated one of them, right?
Yeah.
Almost
Yeah.
like professional wrestling, except that they were actually beating the shit out of each other.
So here's the issue I would have a lot with USA Boxing. So I understood the reason why we're boxing is to entertain people. So I wore capes. I wore a pink skirt. I would flip in the ring. I did celebration dances. They were very against this. And my reasoning is this is entertainment. I think if a guy scores a touchdown, he should have 90 seconds to do a choreographed dance. Like that's a part of the fun. That's the entertainment part of entertainment. No one cares about the sport. No one cares about the sweet science. No one wants to watch a 12-round chess match. We want blood. We want entertainment.
Yeah.
So Ali understood how to be entertaining. Jake Paul understands how to be entertaining. Tyson, by default, he was entertaining. Mayweather figured out how to be entertaining.
Hmm.
Like,
Does
what
Merriweather even does Merriweather even throw a punch? Has he
uh,
even thrown a punch?
punch per dollar? No one's greater. No one's greater. Because the thing, he's still fighting like 19-year-olds in Japan right now and still making like $40 million in a night.
Punch per
That's what
dollar.
he's doing.
That's awesome. Punch per dollar. Merriweather is the richest human in history at punch per dollar, man. Because the guy makes 40 million for a fight, and he threw four punches. So what is that? $10 million a shot?
But the thing is, he figured out how to win.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he's a systems guy because
Maybe he took the Cam Awesome way and just said, "I watched Cam Awesome do it. I'm going to do what he did. I'm just not going to get hit, man."
I legit watched what he did because look at the boxers you respect and all the people you named,
Yeah.
you loved watching them fight.
Hmm.
How are they doing right now?
Well, I think Marvin Hagler's dead. Sugar Ray Leonard's still like a
Yeah,
huge
he's sharp.
celebrity.
He's still sharp. But for the
But
most, a
Roberto
lot of
Duran,
those,
yeah, a lot of these guys are hasta luego. I mean, no one,
they
yeah,
took
I remember these
damage.
guys. Yeah,
They took
yeah,
serious damage. They're not as sharp as they're supposed to be.
yeah, yeah,
So it's like they did that for you, and you really don't really give a shit about them. That's the idea of entertainment. When you're done, you don't care about their lives. But I think of it as a different way. So people like Cam, why did you never turn pro? Because I went to spar a guy. He made 100K for a fight. He gave 10 to his manager, like 20 to his promoter. So, and then 50 to taxes. He got left with 30. He paid for his sparring partner, me. He paid for my hotel. He paid me to like spar. He's fighting in Vegas. You're fighting in Vegas. Are you not going to fly your mom out? Are you not going to buy shirts?
yeah.
When it was all said and done, he probably made 15, 20K. He's only fighting 3 times a year. That's not money to risk your life over.
Mhm.
And the average boxer has a full-time job.
Yeah.
And the ones who don't have a job, they're on contracts where, yeah, someone's paying for their living. Let's say they're getting 4 or 5K a month. But when they get that $1 million fight, they don't get any of that money.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The guy who sets up the ring at the boxing matches probably makes more than most of the fighters.
Yeah.
So I'm a
Yeah.
systems guy. I want money to do what I want with as much time as I want. So I decided like I'm going to become a speaker, high ticket item where I have to, it takes me a long time to develop a skill to be that top dollar, high paid speaker. But I will put in the work to get there because now I'm there and I can work 3 or 4 days a month. And I did 21 comedy shows. It didn't make me any money. Like I
But
make,
that's
oh,
but that's what you love.
that's what if I could do what I want with my time?
Yeah.
I'm living my dream. Not every day is pretty. I mean, especially in the speaking world, if you don't hunt, you don't eat.
Yeah.
So not every month is great, but I'm doing what I want with my time. And I bet on myself.
Yeah.
I lost a lot, and you're going to lose a lot betting on yourself. But that doesn't
Yeah.
mean you should bet on you. You bet on other people.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me ask you about, boxing is a mano a mano, except chicks, man. Let's face it. You watch chicks
They're
fight,
men too. Yeah.
those chicks will kick your ass. Chick fighting is more entertaining now than dude fighting because
Oh,
dudes will dance, chicks will not dance. They will go in there and just wail on each other. I love watching chick fights. Anyway, but pretty much boxing has historically been a masculine sport. And in today's world, we have toxic masculinity. Like masculine stuff is bad because you hurt people's feelings. They get owies and stuff if you're masculine. So
my
what
question,
do you see about that? What's going on with our toxic masculinity?
I I don't know what that means. That definition means so much to so many different people. But the question I often ask for clarity is, what's the what's positive masculinity?
Well, again, it depends who you ask. And I mean, well, all right. There are a lot of women who will say, I love a masculine man. I want a father. I want a husband. I want a leader. I want someone who takes charge of shit. They're a partner, right? But they're also the leader. I have my roles as a woman. I want my man to have roles as a man. A lot of people will look at that as offensive. Well, women can do everything a man can do, but that's not the point, right? That's not the point. So I guess it just depends who you ask, right?
Yeah, I don't even think that that even has much to do with the idea of toxic masculinity. I think masculinity is masculinity. I mean, here's I don't know. I think maybe I think women can be masculine if they want to be. I can't speak for women. I've never been one, but I don't think most of them would like to be. Uh, but so you choose. I think it's a woman's. She should choose a partner that's masculine, and if she chooses the wrong partner, she has to be masculine. Where if you choose the wrong baby father, and now you're doing all like he's no longer in your life, you have to step up, be that masculine person. They're capable of it. Do I want my girl to be masculine? No, I don't want her in her masculine energy. I want to take care of my life. I deal with enough stuff. Like I want soft when I come home, but that's just my preference. The thing is like, why can't everyone like different things? And there's some women who are more naturally masculine, and there's some men who are more naturally feminine. Like my whole thing is like, find someone who compliments you
Yeah.
because if yeah find someone I don't think I think the toxic part is subjective because there are some there's some people who want certain things in a partner. Like I found a partner who she's different than me in every way, except she's vegan. We're both vegan. That's my baseline. I'm not reading labels in my own house. We've been together like 7 years, but she like one of the big contrasts, she eats way different than I do. Like she's very like very everything's organic, everything's plant-based, no processed foods. And during the pandemic, I watched her body transform eating this way. And she never made me eat that way. I just also she makes the food. So she's like, you can make what you want. I'm like, no, I'll just eat whatever you make. And I consciously allowed myself to do whatever she was doing. It was opposite of what I would do, but I figured it was a pandemic, I had nothing to lose, and I just forced myself. It didn't make me happy to eat like that. For like 2 months, I was like, oh, I'll just eat this. And then eventually all the stuff I used to like eating didn't.
Mhm.
Like I liked almond milk, sweetened almond milk. I like my almond milk sweetened. She always buys the unsweetened kind. But if she goes grocery shopping, I mean, I'm just going to eat whatever she gets. But then I took a trip and I went grocery shopping because I got an Airbnb and I got my sweetened almond milk. It
Yep.
was gross. It was
Yeah.
gross. But I'm like, oh, I allowed someone else to control my habits. I gave my habits to someone else because my habits allowed me to become who I am. And sometimes I want to change certain things about myself and I don't even know how. Habits, the very root of what you do. If you can do something for 2 months and it becomes a habit, it becomes natural. Now I eat like her and it's completely changed. I would have never, if she would have made me eat this way, never. But she's smarter than me because she just tricked me into doing it slowly. But also her role in the I don't underplay what she does. She also works, but like I don't underplay what she does in the kitchen because that's the energy of our life.
Yeah.
I hold
Yeah.
that in a high esteem. Like a clean house is a godly house, or
Yeah.
whatever they say. It's like the
Yeah.
environment you live in is so important. You should have someone who compliments you in that environment.
Yeah.
Do you know you get to choose your partner? You know,
Yeah.
and also if you choose a partner, like well, my thought process is, and it's probably not the healthiest, is like if I choose a partner, like through sickness and through health, also when you're annoying, also when I'm miserable. Like when I find a couple who's been married for over 30 years, my first question is, how many years did you wish you weren't married? Surprisingly, all of them have an answer.
Of course. Of course.
But that was so eye-opening to me because they make it seem on TV like it's supposed to always be good. And once I started asking those questions, and they were like, "Oh yeah, 7 years. I can tell you which seven." The follow-up question is, "Are you happy you did it?" And they would always, man or woman, will say, it was the greatest decision I ever made was to stay with this person." But it's like
Yep.
you're supposed to be. If you look at the stock market, it's going to crash.
Yep.
Your job market, your like there's things that's going to go bad. Boxing, my favorite thing, and because you can see it. There's a guy who loses a boxing match. He changes coaches.
Yeah.
Oh, it's your coach's fault, huh? Eventually, you run out of coaches. It's you. That's why there's people who've been married two, three, four times. Like, no,
Yep.
it's the partner. Now,
There's a common denominator in that situation, right? And the thing is, life has seasons. Life just has seasons, man. And there's different ebbs and flows to life. We go through different things in our life. We go through seasons. And we're not the same person at 19 as we are at 62. We're not the same person at 40 as we are at 47. We change. And if
yeah,
we have someone who could ride that out and change with you or accept how you've changed because that core is still there, then you could ride that out. But if someone changes and you go, I'm out of here, that's bullshit, I don't like them anymore, well, you're probably going to repeat that pattern
yeah.
because you marry someone here, when they get there, you're like, well, that's not the same person. Like, duh, you're not the
You're
same
not
person
supposed to
either,
be.
dude. So let
Yeah.
me switch back to comedy real quick. Let me switch back to comedy. So, how long have you been goofing around with comedy, or how long have you liked comedy, or how long have you been a comedian?
So in 2012, I went to an open mic because I went to free comedy night. That's what I thought it was.
Mhm.
And everyone was terrible. And I was like, wow, I can do this. I always wanted to do comedy. It was 2012. I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I have a stage I can do it. So I started in 2012 and I understand how systems work. Comedy clubs don't care about how funny you are. They care about how many tickets you can sell.
Yeah.
I'm not famous by any means, but I amassed a lot of friends and supporters in Kansas City with boxing. I can sell tickets. So I realized the more stage time you have, the better you get.
Yep.
So I was on a lot of shows where whoever sold the most tickets got to perform the most time.
Yep. And they got the best spots. So, what do you see now as far as comedy? Because I've loved comedy for literally my entire life. I remember when we had to go to a theater to see Richard Pryor. You couldn't see him on TV. You couldn't do HBO. There wasn't in it. You literally had to go to a movie theater to see Richard Pryor or Lenny Bruce because I wasn't old enough to go into a club, right? So I couldn't go into a club. So I had to go into a movie theater. And I was just hooked out the gate, you know. But I look at some of these new comics and I look at this cancel culture and stuff that's going on, and I think to myself, how sad. You know, you could write some funny shit and then go, I can't say that. Isn't that
Uh,
crazy?
no, because if you understand the system, there's people who do comedy for different reasons.
Mhm.
Like Stephen Colbert with the Colbert Report, loved his character, his personality, but he went to late night TV and he had to change everything up to be palatable for that audience. And that was a big ass paycheck. He's doing
That
it.
was a big paycheck.
I'm not mad at him. You go. You're not going to be the Colbert Report anymore, but you made that transition for money. Do what you
Yeah,
want for money. Like, and now with that money, he has generational wealth. We might hate him, but his kids are going to be good. Their kids are going to be good.
yeah,
You can't care about what other people think. And I can't care about what other people think.
yeah.
So for
But
me,
there are a lot of people who don't take that money. There's a lot of people who go, you know what, bro? I am not going to sell my soul to the devil. I'd rather be free and I'd rather do what I want to do because, like we talked about at the beginning, you know, money is not freedom. Fuck you, money's great, but there's a
it's
lot of
relative.
unhappy, really unhappy rich people. I know a lot of really miserable rich people, right? I'm like, dude, what the hell are you so miserable about? So I think there's some comics out there that go, you know what? And artists, there's musicians now and people who are just like, I'm not playing that. I don't need a record label. I don't want to do this. I don't need to do that special because I don't want to go there. I don't want to change who I am. Now, if I'm Colbert and someone goes, dude, the Colbert Report was funny. That guy was funny, right? But I'm going to now give you $25 million to no longer be funny for a couple of years. I'm taking it.
Take the bag, bro. Take the bag.
Take the back.
Yeah. And here's something I also like. We have to realize the society before water cooler talk was cool because TV told us what to watch. You either had Full House or you had Family Matters. Like, so you go to the cooler, everyone relate. But now, and then you would have mega stars. You'd have Eddie Murphy got that big back then. Like you had Elvis, that was like you had huge names. But now you don't have to move to Hollywood to be famous. You can be famous. You can be successful on your own. So
Yeah.
now instead of the 7 comics they give you a year, you can go out and find guys who are not that famous but funny to you.
Yeah.
Louis C.K. is still selling out arenas and he's making more money than he's making before because he's selling tickets directly to people. He's selling
Yeah.
his movies directly to client. I get an email when he has a movie come out. He gets all of the money I'm paying him.
Yeah.
It's not split with Ticketmaster. I love independent. I'm an independent artist. I have this complex to where growing up with my dad's construction company, dad and boss was fused. And I wanted independence from my father. And I always thought that meant working for myself. So I have this thing where I've always wanted to work for myself. And that's been a huge deal for me. And if I made 100K for myself, that's more money than making 10 million a year for someone else.
Yeah.
There's a guy named La Russell. He's my favorite rapper. He's from Vallejo, California. And the reason why I love him so much is he makes all of his music in his own house. And he's famous. He won't sign a record deal. And he does concerts in his childhood house backyard.
That's awesome.
He started doing like tickets were like $10 and now tickets are $1,000. He posts everything he puts. He has backyard, he calls them his backyard concerts. He sold two shows. It's October 5th. The first show he sold, he made $170,000 in a day
Wow.
out of his house. And everyone on his team is on his social media posts, and he tells everyone how he does things. Information is the greatest thing you can give people.
Yeah.
That's why with the comedy shows, I'm telling all comics what I do, how I do it. Like, join your local apartment association. These are the steps, because it's just going to make more opportunities for more comics. So I'm like,
Yeah.
why would I ever keep information to myself?
Have you seen the Kill Tony show?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
I haven't seen it. My son keeps telling me, dude, Dad, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch it because he knows I just love comedy. And I've just never seen it, but I guess these dudes out of nowhere sign up, they get a minute or something in front of these comedians and they either make it or don't make it or something or
Yes. So I've gone to a couple of the tapings. So I signed up to be the comics. So comics sign up outside. You wait outside, and there's a podcast. Tony Hinchcliffe, Brian Redband, and usually a couple famous comics. And there's a band and everything. And a comic comes up. You have 1 minute of comedy
that's
to
harsh.
prove that you're funny.
That's brutal.
And some people kill it in the minute, and then some people do bad. And then after that minute, whether it's awkward or not, you have to do an interview live right there.
Oh,
And
that's that's crazy. I gotta watch it
a
now.
lot of times it's cringe and the comics are funny, and sometimes it's their first time performing, so it's not good. But some
Yeah.
guys are really funny. One guy, Cam Patterson, he was on Kill Tony last year. He had this thing where I don't even think his comedy was that his first minute was that great, but he had a pet rock in his pocket. Like, they asked him something about himself. I think he has autism, whatever. But he was talking about his pet rock, and he was so funny in the interview. They got him on the show to be a regular, and yesterday they just announced him as one of the cast members of Saturday Night Live.
No shit.
So he went from Kill Tony to Saturday Night Live.
Wow. That's freaking epic. That's awesome.
I
You know,
love
and
things
that's
happen
the
for people.
beauty of the internet right now. That's the beauty of the freedom, unless they really lock it down. But I mean, right now, these guys are so desperate for entertainment, right? And you can see because there's some really shitty stuff out there. But I mean, you've got 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 5 million platforms that they need to fill. They need to get something on there, right? So the opportunities for people are insane right now to do stuff. And that's a perfect example. This stuff walks up, he sucks, but they like him because he's funny. He's got a pet rock. Now he's on Saturday Night Live. It's like
Yeah.
the opportunities are crazy out there right
Yeah,
now.
opportunities are crazy, but you get those opportunities when you don't work within the system. Like,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
go, it takes to, like, I understood I could just be a normal boxer, but I wouldn't be successful that way. If I took the same path as everyone else, I would be mediocre.
Yeah.
I have to take a different path to break free of the pack. And in those moments of stepping outside, taking a risk, and being innovative, that's where you get so much further ahead. So take this back to the beginning when I took that screenshot in my head of my peers going off to college. Well, by the time they were 25, they had stable jobs. I was just getting kicked off the Olympic team. So I took a bigger dip.
Yeah.
But when I came back, now I'm doing pretty well. And not to compare myself to them, but I did compare myself to them because I wanted like
Yeah.
a standard just to kind of see my progress rate. You need something to judge where you are by.
Yeah.
Uh, and there's no shade at that. I'm a big fan of competition. I have my top five rule. So to be successful, you need a top five. The number one, so the top five, let's call it boxing. The number one person in your top five, that's the pinnacle. That's the greatest. For me, that was Ali. I wanted
Yeah.
to get to that level, not of boxing, but to make people care.
And he was the most famous person on the planet. There wasn't anywhere that you could go on the planet. You can go to the darkest spot of Siberia or Africa or anywhere and say, show a picture of Muhammad Ali, and they knew who he was.
Yeah, that's crazy for the
Right.
internet.
Yeah.
So the number two person is someone in your field that is better than you, objectively better than you. That's the person you get to. Your goal is to catch up to that person. Now, that person could be someone in your circle or even someone you see online. But if you have contact with the person, reach out. The number three person is someone who's just as good as you. So for me, the number two person was someone better than me in the boxing gym. The number three person is someone just as experienced as I am. My goal is to never let that person become better than me. And their goal is to never let me become better than them. Also, I will give them all the resources, advice, and tools to become better than me, to challenge myself to never fall behind.
Mm.
That's the most important person. The number four person, that's someone who's not as experienced as you. You are their number two.
Mm.
Your job is to give them every tool, every piece of advice, and anything to get as good as you are. Never let them become better than you. And the number five person is you. Because if you don't want to hang out with you, neither would those other four people. So don't be a dick. So I use that in everything I do. And when I do comedy, if there's five comics, I want everyone to be their best. I want to crush them. Nothing personal. And like even speaking, if I'm on a speaker lineup, I'm crushing the other speakers. And I want it to be clear. I want a standing ovation. I want to be obviously the best. But if there's someone better than me and I see like we get done, I'm like, oh, they did way better than I did. Hey, can we meet for coffee? I'd love to pick your brain. It's not competitive. It's competitive, but I'm not mad at you. I want to learn from you.
You know, the beauty of that, there's a couple things there. One is it's easy to get complacent, right? It's easy to get complacent in your life when you reach a certain zone. But I've always I'm from my trade, my work as a real estate broker. I've been a real estate broker for 35 years. But whether it's a comedy, whether it's real estate, whether it's a business, whether it's big investors that I've dealt with over the years, I've always noticed that the people who gave the most were usually the most talented or the most successful. It was the ones who were really holding on and weren't giving and stuff were the ones that were struggling. And I used to share that with people. And dude, just give it away, bro. I mean, if they're naturally going to be better than you, your shit's not going to matter anyways, right? But the more you give this up, they'll feed back. This will come back to you. And when I was doing the comedy classes, like I said, that dude, John, he was a big dude at the time. And literally he's like, yeah, come walk with me, man. I'll tell you anything you want to know about what I do and how it works. And I noticed that within the club the guys who were really good were rooting for the other comedians. They're like, but I'm going to go up and kick your ass, bro. I'm going to kill. I'm so going to kill. But they wanted you to do well too, right? And that was huge. That built a good camaraderie within the group. You see that with what Rogan's doing, buying his club, bringing in a lot of comics. He's really supported comics and he's like giving, 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 knowing that the community is a special community of comics because we're all messed up, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so even with the giving thing. So I had this thing like when you don't grow up around a lot, you make up stories about people with a lot.
Yeah.
And I thought to become successful, you had to be cutthroat and evil. And then I realized you'll never become the thing you despise.
Yeah.
I wanted to be successful. How could I hate these
Yeah.
people? And as soon as I got around successful people, before they told me about their success, they were looking to see how they could make me more successful.
Mhm.
It was like they were so giving, as you were saying. And
Yeah.
I think when you go to a boxing match, you get to weigh-ins, there's guys with their shirt off, beating their chests and being all tough. And then there's usually a group of dudes in the corner sitting crisscross applesauce playing cards. Those are the killers.
Yeah.
Because once you're good, you're not threatened.
Yeah.
And I realize successful people want to surround themselves with more successful. I don't want to hang around losers. And if
Yeah.
there's someone who's not doing well, I want to help them do better. Because
Yeah.
if anything, I see it as a table. I want everyone around me to be strong. If I fall, you can help me up. I want to be
Yeah.
the only strong person around. And when I started to look at that, I realized why successful people want other successful people around them.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why when you see a bunch of miserable rich people, it's because They're counting every penny. They're sitting there like Scrooge McDuck. They're holding on to every dime. If you reach for a nickel, they're going to cut your hand off. And that they're miserable that way. They're locked into that saying. I saw my first professional arm wrestling competition, the United Arm Wrestling Federation or whatever it's called, a couple weeks ago up in where I have a cabin in Big Bear Lake, California. Now I walked up, and there's this dude called the Machine. He has a T-shirt on that says the Machine to his website and all this shit. So of course I have to go talk to the dude, right? I'm like, anybody that names himself the Machine, you gotta go talk to him. And he's a mountain of a human, right? The dude's like fucking a mountain of a human. And so I go up, and he's in the snarl, he's in the zone, right? And I go, hey, I don't want to fuck with your if you're in the zone doing this stuff. And so we just start laughing. A dude's the funniest freaking guy in the world. And so automatically, here's this guy who is fierce, man. You look up the Machine on the internet. It's actually Elroy is his name. But he is the nicest guy. So I'm watching these big mofos, man, going at it. Mano a mano, right? Arm wrestling's a pretty wicked thing. But everyone who went off there was like, "Love you, bro. That was awesome. Hope I didn't break your arm." It was just like a family. It was a community. These guys all had each other's back. Now they knew when they got up there, they were going to lock hands and they were going to try to rip their arm off, right?
Yeah.
But when they were done, it was like, "Wow, that was awesome, bro." And it was great. It was really awesome to see these guys. Amazing. And the chicks too, man. I wasn't gonna arm wrestle. There was like a 90-pound Asian chick who just like what? I'm like, dude, I'm not even getting anywhere. I don't know if you worked in a massage parlor for years or what, but you got a wicked, you got. Anyways, listen, you've been awesome. With just time flies. So I have a couple last questions, if I may, and then I promise I'll let you get out of here. So I told you I had the one question, the what if you could question, but I lied because I'm a liar. I actually had two questions. So my second question is, Mr. Cam F. Awesome. If you were going to leave us, to leave the gang with a thought, it doesn't have to be about anything we talked about. It doesn't have to be about comedy. It doesn't have to be anything really. Just if there's a thought that means something to Cam, a saying, a thought, a motto, something that you just means something to you that you'd love to share with us before we go. What would that last thought be?
Uh, how do you talk to you?
Hmm,
Because we all tell
hmm,
ourselves stories, and the stories we
hmm,
tell ourselves, we play our roles character to a T. Uh,
hmm,
and my whole thing was I was just telling myself stories of how I was great and how things were. I'm the greatest and I'm the best. And then I got kicked off the Olympic team and I was beating myself up a lot. And I realized my magic came from when I spoke nicely to me.
hmm,
So when you make a mistake, how do you treat yourself when you make that mistake?
hmm,
And I like to ask people, how would you feel if your child spoke to you the way you speak to yourself? And then I ask them, how would you feel if your child spoke to themselves the way you
hmm,
speak to yourself? Kids don't have ears, they have eyes. They see the way you treat you. And I
hmm,
think the way you treat you reflects what you're able to accomplish.
hmm. Wow. Kids don't have ears, they have eyes. Love that. Had to write that down because I'm going to steal it. Yeah, I'm really bad about that. I talk about how I'm woo woo and spiritual, and I do all the things I think are right, and whether it's health or helping people or whatever. But
Whoa,
the
whoa, 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 whoa. Before you even go any further, you
yeah.
just said that like you're beating yourself up. You're just saying all these
Right,
great things
because
you're doing.
that's what I was getting at. Because the truth of the matter is, I beat myself up more than anybody. And the thing they say, like there's 70,000 negative thoughts a day running around your skull. I've got at least 70,000 negative thoughts, and I just have a bad habit of beating myself up over stuff, and I work on it all the time, but it just comes back like a vicious herpes sore, man. It just comes
Yeah.
back. It's just like, and I sit back and I say to myself as I'm journaling, and I see my journaling going off the rails, right? Like I'm writing, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, you dumbass, why'd you do that? I'm like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. And I just think, why do I keep going there? What is it? When are you gonna cut yourself some slack? When are you gonna be a little kinder to yourself? We've all fucked up big time, I'm 62. I've done a ton of stupid shit, but I beat myself up more than I deserve. And it's just my worst habit. I don't even have any bad habits left. That's my last one.
Okay, so I can tell you where it likely stems from.
Hmm.
You have your phone on you?
No, I put it to the side
Okay.
because, yeah, I didn't want to
Have
ring.
can you look something up on your laptop or your phone or?
I could grab
Well,
my
no,
phone.
it's okay. It's okay. I have it memorized. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So what I often do is, and I have people look it up for themselves, the definition of humility.
Humility.
So
Okay.
when I was walking, I was talking highly about myself and I was amazing all this. And I wore capes and I danced in the ring because it was entertainment and I knew I was going to win and I did win. I got kicked off the Olympic team. I was beating myself up and I couldn't get myself back into it. And I was reading the comments and someone pointed out, they said, "Oh, I bet he's humble now." So I looked up the definition of humble. It's having or showing a low or moderate estimate of one's own importance.
Wow.
The
Hmm.
Latin root word is lowly. So think about it. As a child, you were taught, and you taught your children, it was embedded in you to be humble. It's a virtue. Hey, if you score, don't celebrate. You don't want anyone to think you're too good. You don't want anyone to think you're better than them. Don't toot your own horn. Don't celebrate yourself. The Latin root word is lowly. So let's say you're killing it here in the brokerage game, right? And you run into someone who's not. What do we normally do? We don't stop there. We go a little bit further. We lower ourselves down just so this person can feel good about themselves. So my question is, who does being humble serve? I learned this going into the ring. You can't walk in the ring thinking, oh, well, just try my best. I might do well. You can't walk onto the football field. You can't walk onto the pitch. You can't walk into a meeting like that. You can't walk into life apologizing for existing and being afraid to shine your light. We dim our light so much that we don't know what it's like to be bright anymore. You can't ask your child to reach for the stars while remaining humble. And again, they don't have ears, they have eyes. If they see you being lowly, what do you think they're going to think of themselves? And the truth is, if you're up here and someone's here, humility is building a person up to where you are, helping that number four, you're their number two, helping them come up to where you are, giving them the tools they need, empowering them, thinking you're awesome, but also not thinking lower of them. Because I have nothing, the way I feel about me has nothing to do with you, Gary. I think I'm great. Hell, I might think you're great too, but I will not think I'm less great so you can feel better about yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. That is awesome, Mr. Cam F. Awesome. That is an awesome closing thought. Just there, I just put down a bunch of notes, but I do love, who does being humble serve? I mean, that's an outstanding question. That's going to be my mirror question. I like to put questions on my mirror, and in my journal. That is a mirror question. Who does being humble serve?
Now, I'll
Um,
end with this. When people hear that, they often say being humble doesn't mean thinking less of yourself. It means think
mhm,
about yourself less. Gary, you're a grown-ass man. If you're not
mhm.
thinking about you, who else will?
Yeah, no one. I've almost died twice in the last 3 years, and no one gave a shit.
Oh, and it's nothing personal. It's
No,
nothing
they got
personal.
stuff to do, man. I didn't even take it personal. I'm like, bro, people are like, why didn't you tell me you were in the hospital? And why didn't you tell me this and that? I'm like, why? Who gives a shit? What are you gonna do? Send me flowers? I mean, you got shit to do, man. I mean, I appreciate it. You love me. I lived, so you can tell me how great I am. But I mean, what am I gonna do? You gonna come visit me in a shitty hospital? That sucks. It's like, no, 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 dude, you got stuff to do. We'll figure it out. But all right, Mr. Cam F. Awesome. So what is next? What is next for Mr. Cam F. Awesome, and how do we find you and what's going on with you now? What's next for you?
What's next for me? Continuing to improve my speaking abilities, get on more stages, craft my message. I have a TED Talk on September 26th of this month.
Right
Uh,
on.
Humility is not a superpower. And
That's
I'm
awesome.
continue to do comedy, get better at the craft, give comics opportunity to perform with me, and through doing that, build a network of comics. So when they're doing shows, they allow me on their shows, and then I'll eventually break into the mainstream market because the goal is to play B clubs around the country. I don't need to headline Madison Square Garden. I rather my level of fame is Doug Stanhope. Exactly. No line would just stop me in the airport. I just want to be able to do my craft consistently, book shows, not. Yeah, once I learned you don't need to be famous to be rich, I have no interest in people knowing who I am.
I don't want to be stopped in the airport. I don't want to be taking a leak and somebody wants to shake my hand. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to do that shit. But and I've neglected to get into your book real quick. But real quick about the book. Where do we find the book? Where do we find you? What are your platforms? What's going on before we get out of here?
You could find me at camfawesome.com and at camfawesome on all social media platforms because I'm not famous enough to anyone to take my name. You can find my book on my website, and you can also find my book on Amazon. Uh, yeah, I'm
Right on. Well,
an open book,
uh,
so reach
the
out.
book the book is Becoming Awesome. How to Make Success Inevitable. This young gentleman is Cam F. Awesome, and he is awesome. That's well done. Change your name to that because it fits. Um, and I hope everyone got as much out of this as I did because it was a really fun and a really fast hour and a half. Great for free time. I know you got jet, you got stuff to do, but thank you, Mr. Awesome.
Thanks for having me, Gary.
You're welcome. All right, everybody, please look for Mr. Cam F. Awesome, www.camfawesome.com, at Cam F. Awesome. Look for that book and find him on comedy stages around the country. If you see him in the airport, say hi. I don't give a shit if he wants to or not because he's a good guy. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, Cam. Talk to you soon. See ya. Thanks again for joining us on another episode of What If You Could podcast. Please subscribe, like, share, and give us any feedback. We'd love to hear it. And remember, if you can dream it, you can do it. See you next time.